This is the Jerry Hicks Show, your home for common sense content 5 nights a week, right here on the Censored Freedom Network. Now here is your host, Jerry Hicks.
Thank you so much, David, and thank you everybody for being here this evening. I hope everybody has had a wonderful day so far. We've got a lot of news to get through, guys, so make sure you stick around to the end. There's a ton of stories to go through tonight. First off, I want to welcome everybody to the Jerry Hicks Show. This is our pilot episode. I told you guys last night we would be rebranding, and the Dark Wolf's Den Show is and always will be, like I said last night, a paranormal show. So we will be doing that still, make no mistake, probably once a week. That might become our Saturday show. I might do that. I'm not sure yet. We're still figuring that one out. But this is going to be the 5 nights a week show, ladies and gentlemen, the Jerry Hicks Show. I hope everybody make sure that you send this out across everywhere. Share it out everywhere you can find. We are on BitChute. We are on Rumble. We are on YouTube. We are on TikTok. Shout out to everybody over on TikTok. Make sure you guys are over tapping the screen and sending the gifts over. We'd very, very much appreciate that. And also make sure you follow if you like the content we're doing here, as we've been trying to hit a goal of 75 followers over on TikTok. 75 followers. So let's see if we can't make that happen, folks. Tonight we're going to talk about a ton of news stories, and I mean a ton. We talked last night, and I really, really hope you guys go back and send out last night's DWD 2.0 show. Folks, I'm here to tell you that show is one of the most important shows we've ever done. We went through a list, and I mean a list, of U.S. aid money that has been going out the door for things we don't need. Now, I made a mistake yesterday, and I want to go ahead and clear that mistake up right now. The United States Agency for International Development is USAID. I was under the impression that it was literally just the foreign aid side, which is responsible for administering civilian foreign aid and development assistance, established in 1961 to promote social and economic development in various countries. So this is something we don't need to be doing. I stand by what I said yesterday. If there's a natural disaster, we need to send foreign aid by all means. But we should not be sending foreign aid to people to do things like write a musical, right? For anything. I think that was a DEI musical in another country, but why are we sending them money to do anything? And it got me to thinking, ladies and gentlemen, do you believe, I should say, that the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, was actually the slush fund which was being used by, say, the FBI, CIA, DEA, DIA, DEI, even DEI. Yeah, we know it was used by DEI, but do you think that these are the way that a lot of these alphabet agencies are getting their secret funding? We know that the CIA has been behind a number of coups and socioeconomic changes in a number of different countries. As a matter of fact, I want to say it's Guatemala that was the story that they actually were doing quite a bit down there. I know Guatemala was on the list. Let me see if I can find the story again. If I do, I'll bring it back up. But it really got me to thinking it's most likely this is the slush fund that they were using to do these underhanded, dirty things. And yes, I do believe that the FBI and CIA were behind a lot of the flags of another color operations here in this country. I'm trying to think of the way to say that. Flags of a false gender. There we go. I know the words I'm trying to say, I just can't seem to find them right this moment. But ladies and gentlemen, like I said, we got a lot of news stories tonight, so let's go ahead and drop down into that, and we'll see if we can't find some more evidence for the question that I just asked. So Trump hater Bill Kristol's group was receiving millions from the USAID matrix, and he was using this to do nothing but try to go against Trump. He was a founding member of Republican voters against Trump and Defending Democracy Together, which launched in 2020. So this man is using money that is coming from USAID to fight the president. In fact, Bill Kristol's group, the Defending Democracy Together Institute, received big money indirectly from USAID through the Rockefeller Philanthropy Advisors. Ladies and gentlemen, when I heard that word, I was more than a little concerned. Do you know who the Rockefellers are? If not, they're one of the richest families on the planet. They also are some of the ones that are behind Agenda 2030. If you don't know what it is, please go look it up. It's not a conspiracy. It's a real thing that really exists that you can really go find and really see what they really want to do. Yes, really. But ladies and gentlemen, this is dangerous. We do not need to be, among other things, funding either the Rockefeller Foundation or anything to do with Agenda 2030. It's a globalist operation, by the way, Agenda 2030 is. The sustainable goals, including climate change, which we know is absolute horse crap. Elon Musk fires warning shot as far-left Politico is unable to make payroll again amid the USAID shutdown. Folks, here's another reason that I asked. Were the CIA and FBI getting large payouts from this slush fund? Was this basically their bank account? Right? More media outlets will see a drop in revenue mysteriously, says Elon Musk. We know about Project Mockingbird. Project Mockingbird. If you don't know, this again is not a conspiracy theory. You can look it up. It's a real thing. It was a wiretapping operation used to identify sources of government leaks by eavesdropping on the communication of journalists. So that is not what it was. They have changed what this is, ladies and gentlemen. Operation Mockingbird is where they would put into media centers their operatives, who would then control what news you were and were not able to hear. They were able to, especially considering that's the only news source you had at the time. There was no internet to validate anything. You had only one choice but to listen to what they said and assume that it's telling the truth. Then again, back then, you couldn't propagandize the American people. You had to tell the truth. Nowadays, you are absolutely able to propagandize the American people thanks to something called the Smith-Mundt Act, put in place by Obama. So a lot of this slush fund was going to these media outlets that have become, let's be honest, activist organizations. That's all they are anymore. There is no such thing as a legit media outlet anymore. I haven't found one. Maybe News Now. I take that back. Maybe News Now. They seem to be a little more straightforward by the book than any of the other ones that I've seen. Or is it News Nation? Whichever one has Ross Coldhart on it, that one seems to be more straight and narrow by the book media reporting. But this is why shows like this is why creator media has become, alternative media has become where people go for their news, because they can validate the sources in alternative media. They can see, yeah, this is actually true, or no, it's not true, and that alternative media person is no longer going to be listened to. Right? Right or wrong? We're going into a market of, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not even cloud. It's a market of truth, a market of reputation, right? If you end up with a bad reputation for not doing things right and not telling the truth and always putting out fake information and misinformation, real misinformation, you're going to be pushed by the wayside, and that's exactly what is happening to these media outlets. Nobody listens to CNN anymore. Nobody gives a crap for MSDNC, which I think most of these were being propped up by bots anyway, to tell you the truth. My opinion. Their numbers have fallen through the floor. And now the payroll for them is also going to fall through the floor. Next up here we have, ladies and gentlemen, Chuck Schumer. I gotta say, I don't like Chucky Boy most of the time, but somehow this time he seemed to sell me on this. And it's not hard to do because I was already sold on Doge, but check this out.
We also know this is just the beginning. If Doge attacks USAID today, then you can be sure they'll move on to another target tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe it'll be the Postal Service or
I doubt they'll shut down the Postal Service. We still need that.
the IRS.
Wait, the IRS? Yeah, I would actually love for them to go shut down the IRS. That'd be great, Chucky. You didn't have to sell me that hard, bud.
Or even the Social Security Administration.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, they've been stealing from that all of my life. There is no Social Security left. When I get to the point where I can draw it, they're going to laugh at me.
Could be next. Or maybe our National Security Agency.
Yeah, the NSA, I sure wouldn't mind seeing them go bye-bye. I don't know about you guys. That seems to be another alphabet agency. At least be overhauled into something that's, I don't know, useful. Makes sense to me. All right, this is the next thing I wanted to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. And this is something that has been very, very scary. There's been a lot of plane crashes recently. Now, by the numbers, believe it or not, I even went and looked today. By the numbers, it's not as many as you would think compared to how many happen yearly. We have had 15 so far in the month of January. That might sound like a lot, but the average is like 300 and something on a year, which breaks down to even more than 15 a month, if you can believe that. Now, I tell you all that to tell you this. There has been a larger amount of plane crashes recently. Normally, I would say no, this is just the news taking the story from page 4 and slapping it on page 1 to scare you for some reason. But that doesn't seem to be the case this time, folks. This time it seems to be the case that the planes are having major issues. Japan Airlines collides with parked Delta Airlines at Seattle Airport. So what's really going on? Is it air traffic control? Perhaps. Perhaps they're being so overworked and understaffed that things are just going wrong. That could be one element. I don't think it's just one thing going on here, folks. Hear me out. Number 2, the fact that they have made a point to hire the least qualified candidates. At least not the most qualified. They've been hiring based on things that they should not have been hiring based on. Period. Full stop. I don't care if it's black, white, purple, yellow, green, orange. You shouldn't hire based on color. You should be based on whether or not you can do the job and how well it can be done. So yes, I think that is another aspect of what could be going on. However, is that the only things that are going on? Well, it turns out we actually know that it is not the only things going on. There's been a lot of GPS spoofing on these planes, and what this does is it's telling the plane, it's basically hacking the plane and telling it you're at this altitude when you're at that altitude. Say you're at 800, but it tells you you're at 1500 or vice versa. It tells you at 1500 you're supposed to be at 800, you go down and you slam the ground. One issue, right? Or that radios start going off and doing weird things not responding. Just these different problems have been going on. These GPS spoofing problems have been going on, or especially around airports as of recent. This has been reported. Again, this is not a conspiracy. Go look it up yourself. If you don't believe me, by all means. And I encourage you, anything I say, please go look it up. Please. Anything. Especially if you think it's wrong, prove me wrong. Because I need to know if I'm wrong too. But apparently this is GPS spoofing going on that is very, very dangerous and could eventually, and apparently has month or so led to a lot of incidents. My question is, if it is GPS spoofing that is also piled on top of these other elements that are more likely than not causing these issues, then is it foreign or domestic that's doing it? Well, what do you mean, could it be domestic? I mean just that. Could it be domestic? Are the deep state so pissed off that they're taking down planes now to try to disrupt and cause chaos amongst the American citizens, to create a fear of flying and destroy an entire industry, so that only they know the right airlines that they can fly that are not going to harm them? Is this another elite push? I don't know. But how could they be doing it? Maybe it's a foreign country that's entered our airspace and is spoofing us, or spies on the ground that's entered our space and is spoofing the planes around them. I don't know. I don't have that answer. I can speculate all day. But the real question comes into play when you consider the drones. And we discussed this the other day on Censored Freedom, over on Censored Freedom Network on X. Check it out. Also on Rumble. We discussed that the other day, where could it be the drones that are high enough up that they're not being seen in the general vicinity, or even far enough away, but in the general vicinity? Could it be that these drones are spoofing the plane data? Could this be being used to cause these accidents? I don't know. I'm asking questions, but it sure makes sense to me. It was the only other way that I know of that one could get away with spoofing so many planes, because you have to be in a general vicinity, I would think. Maybe sitting at the airport, perhaps. I doubt it, though. Somehow I doubt it. Maybe I'm wrong. But it does beg the question, and I will admit, in the area of certain crashes, we have not seen drones in the footage or around. We haven't seen them. We haven't had them reported. Does that mean they're not there? Absolutely not. You think somebody can't turn a light off? Pretty simple, seems to me. Well, they're supposed to have them on. They're supposed to. Does that mean they're going to follow the rules if they're already doing something illegal and very, very harmful? Probably not. Criminals rarely care about the rules. Speaking of people that don't care about the rules, this guy here, Al Green. Now, excuse my ignorance. I don't know if it's the same Al Green that was, I believe, a singer, right? I don't believe it was. But the man sure does have a cane, doesn't he? So he got up on the podium, ladies and gentlemen, and he announced that the Democrats are going to do exactly what they did 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago.
I rise to announce that the movement to impeach the president has begun.
For what?
I rise to announce that I will bring articles of impeachment against the president.
And what are the articles of impeachment going to be for?
For dastardly deeds proposed and dastardly deeds done.
I'm sorry, what?
Dastardly deeds proposed and dastardly deeds done.
You guys remember that dog, Dastardly, Dick Dastardly? I almost went and got one of the little cartoons of Dick Dastardly to throw in here.
For dastardly deeds proposed and dastardly deeds done.
I'm sorry, folks. He cracks me up. Dastardly deeds proposed and dastardly deeds. I'm pretty sure that's not one of the things listed in the Constitution for impeachment. Pretty sure it's high crimes and misdemeanors. I don't think dastardly deeds is written beside it. I'd have to go look. Maybe I'm wrong. Pretty sure I'm not. But he is going to impeach Trump for dastardly deeds. At least it's a lot closer than what they tried last time with just some made-up horseshit. I mean, at least this time they act like they've got something more. So what is this about? This is about America taking over the Gaza Strip. We covered this on last night's show. We even showed a picture from Grok of what the Strip could end up looking like in the end. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be real clear. I think this is a horrid idea. I do not understand what Mr. Trump is doing. I'm a Trumpeteer. I really, really, really like Mr. Trump. I think he's got a lot of amazing ideas that is moving this country forward the way it should be. With that said, I don't understand why he's trying to land grab in Canada, in Mexico, in Greenland, in the Middle East. We have no business land grabbing the Middle East. I'm sorry. I'm with the ones that are against this time. I know that sounds strange, but I've made it very clear just because I like Trump don't mean I'm going to follow the man off the edge of a cliff. I think this is a horrible idea. Now, what kills me is he didn't just unilaterally stand up there and say, we're doing this. He actually had Netanyahu beside him who's in full agreement that this is a good thing and an okay thing. So they're going to cause a lot more problems, ladies and gentlemen, than they're going to solve. What are they going to do with the people that are in the Gaza Strip right now? They're going to displace them and just send them anywhere else. Folks, a lot of countries don't want these people. Why? Because they are terrorists. I'm not being mean. The truth is the truth. Yes, there are regular people that live there. But most of them support their own government, which is Hamas, which is terrorists. And then when they go to other countries, they're going to do things like, I don't know, Ilhan Omar. Infiltrate the government and try to change it from the inside out. Try to turn this into a jihadist country. Try to turn this into another sand dune country. Yeah, I said it. Folks, he's creating more messes than he's solving by doing this. And I think this is a very, very bad idea. Do I think he should be impeached for it? No. He didn't go over there and just start land grabbing and say, we're taking this and there's nothing you can do about it. Netanyahu and him had a full conversation for half of a day at least, where they come out and announce this was the decision and agreement that was made. You can't impeach the president over doing his job. I mean, they can. They try to all the time, but you're not supposed to be able to. Do you know why they want to impeach the president, ladies and gentlemen? Do you know why? It's real simple. He's an outsider. He is screwing them up. He is stealing their money. They want him gone immediately because their Chinese masters are pissed that they're no longer getting paid. The FBI, CIA, all of these people, they're pissed. They're no longer getting paid. They no longer have their slush fund to play in, at least my opinion. We don't have that for a fact, that's my opinion. I think we could probably find a good amount of evidence to support it. If you guys want to go ahead and do that out there, that'd be great. By the way, if you are listening over on TikTok right now, go ahead and tap that screen, follow. We're trying to build the followers over here. Join the Wolf Pack, folks. We're going to have to change that Wolf Pack, aren't we? Jerry Hicks don't have a Wolf Pack. The Dark Wolf's Den show does. But make sure you follow, folks. And if you want to send over some hearts or some gifts, we would sincerely appreciate that. Let us know you appreciate what we're doing over here. We're just trying to do the news, you know. Trying to put the common sense information out to you guys 5 nights a week. President Trump, ladies and gentlemen, signs executive order protecting women's sports, and he was surrounded by little girls as he did it. You know the difference between him and Biden? Biden can't keep his hands or nose off the little girls. Trump knows better. Trump won't touch the little girls. He saves them from trafficking, things like that. From being beaten by men in sports that they have no business playing. This is something that really, really aggravated the hell out of me. Because as I heard one person put it, and I think they were spot on. Forgive me, I don't remember who it is. I want to say it was Matt from yeah, that one over there. The guy that did Am I a Racist? You guys know who I'm talking about. And I believe it was him that said, to put on a dress and call yourself a woman is to demean womanhood down to nothing more than a costume. Matt Walsh, I believe it was. Lord help me if I got that name wrong. Let me know down in the comments. Did I get the name right? And what you guys think about these stories? Am I wrong? If I'm wrong, let me know. Attorney General Pam Bondi orders DOJ to stop all federal funding to sanctuary cities. This is something they should have done long ago. And vows prosecution of officials obstructing immigration enforcement. Remember last night we brought you the story of the Delaware, I believe it was Delaware, the guy that had a illegal in their house and were daring the feds to come get them? I hope Pam heard that story. I'd like to see how that one ends. But there will be no federal funding to sanctuary cities anymore. I think this is awesome. If you can't follow the rules, you don't deserve the money. Now, what kills me is this is the same thing that Biden tried to do with Title VIII or Title VII, whatever it is, with the schools. Right? Title VI, Title V, whatever title that was. Lord help me, I don't remember. I didn't plan on talking about it. But Pam Bondi orders DOJ to stop all federal funding. She's a new attorney general, of course, folks. Where's the downfall here? If they want to go against the federal government, if they want to fight the federal government, if they think they know better, they want to defy the federal government, then they don't need federal funds. You can't have it both ways. You either are or aren't. Well, I got that story open twice here. South District of New York announces end of lawfare case against James O'Keefe and Project Veritas related to the Ashley Biden diary. Another trumped up, excuse the language, set of charges against a person that did not deserve them. James O'Keefe did nothing more but accept a piece of journalistic, what's the word I'm looking for here? Evidence. And in doing such, found himself in the ire of the FBI because they wanted it back. He never stole a thing. It was sent to him. He ended up in possession of it. And yet the government tried to take him down because he tells too much truth. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope and I pray that the days of whistleblowers being destroyed and truth tellers being punished for doing right has at least ended for a short period. Is it over forever? Probably not. Probably not. But thank God that it's over, at least for a short period. Because it seems to me the people that are blowing the whistle and coming out talking about these things deserve to be protected and not investigated by the FBI, DEA, CIA, people that have no business investigating these things and treating these people like criminals because they've done the right thing. Folks, common sense is coming back to this country one day at a time, one step at a time, and I could not be happier. I don't know about you guys. And if you're the one of the ones that are unhappy about this, ladies and gentlemen, in general, I get, I'm unhappy with the whole Gaza thing too. I think that's really, really stupid. But if you're one of these people that are unhappy about Trump saving money, about Trump shutting down USAID, about Trump cleaning house and actually not wasting taxpayer money, then you're probably being paid to have that view. I said it. You know who's not being paid for their views in any way whatsoever? This guy. Like I said, I've been doing this 5 years, folks. I've never made a penny off of this. I do it because it's important. Because there needs to be a voice of common sense out here every day to combat the stupidity that is the left. We're going to be on 5 nights a week, folks. Plus, we have Censored Freedom every Sunday night over on X. You can catch this show also over on X every day now. We will be going up every single day over on the X platform on Censored Freedom Network. Ladies and gentlemen, we're also on YouTube. We're on TikTok. TikTok, you guys over there, again, make sure you're tapping it out. Make sure you tap. Make sure you're following. Make sure you send over those gifts. We really, really appreciate it. If you guys have appreciated what we're doing here, if you guys like the content, please. I appreciate all you guys being over there with us. Over on Rumble. Guys over on Rumble, check us out. We still got to move some stuff over. We are the Dark Wolves Den Show still over there. We are on BitChute. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are America First, unapologetically. I didn't realize that was being covered by that. I hope you guys enjoyed this pilot episode. I want to know what you guys think. Let me know down below. Make sure you follow, like, share, subscribe. Everything you got to do. Let people know we're here. Help us build this one step at a time, one day at a time. I'm Jerry Hicks, also known as the Dark Wolf. This is the Jerry Hicks Show. We'll see you guys tomorrow.